Hi, I'm Josh Liba, serial entrepreneur and a recovering professional procrastinator. And just a disclaimer, this video is probably not going to go in the direction you think. We're going to go deep. Okay, so you saw in the title, W.E.S.T for a better creative life. And what am I talking about? I'm certainly not suggesting that we all move to California for a better mental health, although in some cases that may help. I'm talking about W.E.S.T as an acronym. To live a happier and healthier life that puts you in a prime creative space, you need W.E.S.T, W-E.S.T, water, exercise, sleep, and to talk to somebody, or therapy. You choose which T is most appealing to you. And we all know this on some level, but how much of these things do we actually get? I was going to mention a few statistics about how little water, exercise, and sleep that most people get, but you can already guess it's a lot of people. And like me, you're probably one of them. Obviously, we collectively don't get as much water, exercise, sleep, or talk or therapy as we should for optimal health and creative energy. And we know that getting or doing more of those things is good for us and therefore good for our creative careers. So why don't we do them? And that's really a more powerful question than why should we do them? Why don't we? Why don't I get the water or exercise or sleep or talk or therapy that I should? Am I too busy? Am I too distracted? Maybe. Are there underlying health problems? Possibly, and that's a legitimate investigation. But ruling out in medical inability, usually it boils down to just one reason: priorities. What you actually value in your life, deep down, emotionally, even if they are the opposite of what you know to be logical, what you actually feel about any kind of self improvement is manifested in your actions, what you do or what you don't do. And it is eye opening. And I'll talk about some examples in 20 seconds. But what's the point though? Well, knowing your automatic thought and action patterns and finding your actual feelings and then adjusting those feelings and motives is key to changing your outcomes. So keep that in mind as we talk about some examples and maybe think about your personal values and priorities and how those may be holding you back from doing just basic things for mental and creative wellness, including the letters in W.E.S.T: water, exercise, sleep, and talk or therapy. All of these reasons that we'll go through have absolutely held me back, and I'm working on it. So I'm hoping that defining them and putting them in public will help you and me to improve and do more of what we know is good for us and for our creative careers. So let's talk about W. W, drink water. Drink more water. Nobody ever needs to suggest this to me again. It's so obvious. Do we need another I drank 8 cups of water a day for 30 days video? I mean, nobody gets to the end of those videos like, oh, no wonder I've been feeling off. I've only been drinking 1 grape soda per day. Well, duh, obviously I'm going to look and feel better being not dehydrated and my face not looking like Death Valley in July. And yet, if it's so obvious, why am I walking around thirsty and dry all the time? The plain and simple answer is priorities, values. I like coffee better. Water doesn't have caffeine. Give me hot water with caffeine and I'll think about it. But at that point, it might as well be coffee, so coffee it is. But after I thought about it some more, there's actually a more interesting, deeper reason. I like the ritual of making coffee in the morning, and it's become a satisfying habit after years of waking up, boiling water, scooping, grinding, measuring, pouring, brewing, that sometimes if I don't go through the motions of making coffee, then I feel like I haven't even woken up. I'm probably just dehydrating myself even more, but mentally, I value how I feel with coffee more than I care about drinking water, apparently. So, to actually drink water, to drink more water, I have to make the process of drinking water more enjoyable. I have to treat it like I would coffee. Maybe I have a special water bottle or a process to filter it or level up my water by adding some sort of mineral or hydration powder to it. Let's go even deeper, right? The act of having a ritual related to preparing myself something to drink, in some level, makes me feel like I'm treating myself. So maybe just hot water is the answer. I mean, I'm half Chinese, and for some reason, the Chinese love drinking boiling hot water all day, every day. So maybe I'll activate a gene somewhere. E, exercise. Exercise? Yeah, but no. It's hard, and that's literally the only reason that we need not to do it. You could give a more complicated excuse. I've just been so busy lately. Yeah, but you've been busy your entire life and you still make time to watch TV. I mean, you don't even need to stop that. You just do Pilates while you watch. Yeah, but no. Priorities. My body has learned over years that I can get by not doing more than I physically need to and still be alive and breathing at the end of the day, which is good enough for me. Like if having a pulse is an accomplishment, then I nailed it. And good enough is deep down reason enough not to do something that would extend my life and improve every hour that I'm awake. And that's about as far as I'll go talking about exercise. I think I spent too much time on the coffee hot water example. But what about sleep? Sleep. Sleep more? Sounds good. How many people say that they love sleep? I love sleep. But what I really secretly like, that I suspect most people also enjoy, is sleeping when you think you shouldn't be sleeping. Like when people say sleeping in, like you just add in to the end of sleeping in, and it changes the entire concept and excitement for sleeping. What are your vacation plans? We're going to sleep in. Oh, nice. Sleeping in. That's a wonderful two words together, right? Why though? Because it implies deeper down that if you were not sleeping in, you would otherwise have gotten up on time and gone out and worked. But not today. Today, I'm sleeping in. And that semi-guilty pleasure sleep during times when we feel that we actually shouldn't be sleeping, but we're treating ourselves to sleep, that's the kind of sleep that we love. Not this every night, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. nonsense. What am I, 7 and need to go to school the next day? A reasonable sleep schedule is for the normies. I'm going to party, or most likely I'm going to stay up looking at memes on my phone and send them to my so-called friends without actually having a meaningful conversation. But that's a different subject for a different video altogether. Actually, no, we're going to talk about that in like 30 seconds. But again, priorities. We get no sleep because deep down, we don't want to, unless it's wrong and we can do it instead of working. Otherwise, my body's gotten used to a pattern of not sleeping and entertaining myself with other things, and my actions show that for some subconscious reason, I value that pattern more than I would actually like to get more sleep. And if this seems familiar to you at all, please leave a comment, by the way. And last, T, talking or therapy. Again, you choose which one is more valuable to you. Any psychologist or anyone really, therapist, fifth grade teacher, Walmart greeter, will tell you that having meaningful conversations with family and friends will do you good. And again, they'd only be telling you something that you know to be true. It's not like anyone said, you should talk to a friend. And we were like, I have never thought of that as a possible solution. I've been talking to my pet lobster, but he's so shellfish. We know that we should talk to someone, especially creatives. We need to bounce our ideas off others and talk about our struggles and our accomplishments, to set goals and get feedback and help others. That'll help us thrive. We know that. But a lot of us, like me, we don't talk as much as we should. But why? If it makes so much sense for our mental and creative health, why don't we do it? Well, deep down, maybe we're scared of talking because deeper conversations lead to greater vulnerability. And in a world that's always projecting that you have to be the best, you have to be sure of yourself and lead, it's hard to admit that we're human. But we love when celebrities open up about their personal struggles or their mental health issues in front of the whole world. Why? Because imperfection is relatable. And they're just as vulnerable as you and I. So when they admit it, and even go so far as to sometimes break down in tears on national TV, people love them even more. So if movie stars can be open and vulnerable in front of millions of people, why can't I? Why can't I be open and vulnerable in front of just a few family members or friends or peers? Again, priorities. Maybe I value the privacy of my mind more than I'd like to be open or vulnerable. Perhaps I don't open my work up for feedback because I'm either confident about my work being perfect as is, or I'm scared of the criticism. If they judge my work, they're judging me personally. Both those extremes are poison for creative work. But they may just be the tip of the iceberg in revealing why we actually don't do something that seems like it would be so simple to do more of: talk to others. The list of benefits is long, but again, the secret list of hidden fears is sometimes longer. And to be honest, some people just don't have the greatest relationship with their families, nor a circle of close friends that they feel that they can confide in yet. So it makes it extra hard to talk to someone and work through our issues with someone that cares. And that's why the T in W.E.S.T can also mean therapy. The reality is, even if you feel quite lonely, there are probably people that care for you more than you might realize and consider you to be their friends, even if you haven't made the connection yet. But until then, a therapist is someone that talks to you and helps care for your mental health professionally. Your friends do it because they're your friends. A therapist does it because, number one, you're paying them to do it, and number two, they've trained for years to do it well. And I'm not a doctor by any means. None of this is medical advice, but if you know therapy would probably be good for you, then you also may know that you have personal, emotional reasons why you haven't done it yet. We know it would do us good, but our deeper values and priorities stop us from doing it. And I'm realizing that this script has gone a lot deeper than I had intended it to go. Like, I just went from the need to drink more water to contemplating your secret self-confidence and mental health issues. Someone recently suggested that I may have ADHD, and I was going to look up the symptoms, but then I got distracted. Anyway, use the acronym WEST for better overall health, mental health, and creativity. Water, exercise, sleep, and talking or therapy. It's easy to remember, and it's also obvious, but it's also hard to do. If you're like me and you find it hard to do basic things that you know would be good for your physical or mental health, then the reasons holding you back are probably deeper than you might even realize. So, what can you do to find those reasons and then to change those reasons? Well, here are a few things that have worked for me. Number one, write down the things that you know that you should do. And we can start with the WEST acronym, and you can add your own things that you know would be good for you. Number two, you want to write down every possible reason that you're not doing that thing. You'll probably start with the easiest, most surface level excuses that you tell everyone, right? I'm too busy. I don't have enough time. I'm too short. My name is Josh. People are suspicious of people named Josh. If you can keep writing, you'll probably get to a point where you start to go deeper into the actual bottom of the iceberg reasons why you don't do something. And typically, it's fear related. I'm scared of failure. I'm scared of judgment. I'm scared of being alone. And number three, now's the fun part, challenge those deeper fears and then write your answers to justify doing the thing, even if you have to start small, and be your own cheerleader or be your own hype man. What might this look like as an example? Well, let's just use E for exercise. I should exercise more, right? What are the first excuses that come up? I'm too busy. I have a family. I don't live near a gym. But what are the deeper reasons? Maybe I don't start working out because I know I'll never look as good as I did when I was younger. So what's the point? Or I don't want people to be looking at me trying to do an embarrassingly simple exercise and then laughing to themselves inside. Or I just hate exercise clothes. So challenge those fears and then encourage yourself. One, it's unreasonable for me to try and go back in time, but I can live better and longer now if I just start. Number two, nobody's looking at me in the gym, and that's why all the mirrors are there, so everybody can just look at themselves. And three, I don't have to wear exercise clothes. I can exercise in jeans. And I'm only going to start by doing 10 squats every other day, starting tomorrow. After that, we'll see how I feel, and maybe I'll go to 15 squats a day next week. Try it out. Let me know what you think below. And also, do you like content like this? I'm heading down the route of self-improvement, productivity, and inspiration for professional creatives because it's what I love personally, but I'm very much open to finding the niche as we go. Is it helpful? That's what I'd love to know. In any case, if you liked it and want to see more, please consider a thumbs up, subscribing, and helping the creative community. And if you'd like to know how over-consuming content kills creative productivity, you might also like this video here. I'm Josh Liba. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.